Hey, good evening. Welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. Well, we are certainly living in troubled times, if not entertaining times, with all that's going on in America right now. I have to feel saddened by the fact that there is so much underhand stuff going on, and it seems to me, if I may make an uneducated, I am politically uneducated, but I know when people are being revealed as not telling the truth when it suits them, and I recognize that. And the difficulty always is in being honest when it doesn't suit you. Now, here in the Philippines, backward country, third world country that it is, there is a popular saying that's written on the side of some public buildings, and it says, "Be honest when others are not. Be honest when others cannot. Be honest when others will not." And that really takes you into what is it really that we're talking about. We're talking about really the death of integrity, aren't we? Because integrity, you could say that integrity was the willingness to be honest, even when it really not only does it not suit you, but it would damage you. And that's something that we have to grieve for. At the end of all of this, what will be revealed, I think, from my uneducated viewpoint, will be that they will all lie in order to meet their own agenda. And so politicians have all done the stuff, haven't they? America and all of the other governments of the world have all meddled in other people's affairs. At one time, I think it was Robin Williams. He came out when the world was in a very troubled state, and he gave what he thought would be the solution. And he suggested that America should quit giving aid to everyone else, tell them, "We wish you well, good luck, but we're going to be attending to our own troubles." And then use that money to help Americans. When 9/11 happened, I read there that no other country in the world like America was in quite the same situation. America apparently has never been given aid such as America gives to many countries in the world. But it's never been reciprocated. Nobody has ever come out and given America aid. Now, Americans, I think, can be proved and shown to be among the most generous, open-hearted, if loud, people in the world. Now, what's American? Well, an American is German, English, French, African. It's Portuguese. It's Spanish. It's South American, all of it. It's almost every nation in the world now. Let's not go into what happened to the original Americans, shall we? That's a whole other very extremely complicated video, that would be, wouldn't it? Addressing the rights and wrongs there, and it's history now. But in no other country in the world can you go, and I've said this before, can you go and stay there and work and behave yourself, and at the end of it take a relatively simple test and then take an oath, and you can walk out the door after taking that oath and call yourself an American. You can say, if somebody asks you, whatever your accent, you can say, I'm American. Like right now, I choose to live in the Philippines. I'm British origin. I was born in the UK. I left home when I was just 15 and a half. I went into the army. When I got into the army, I was a musician, and I remember one lightning bolt experience that I had that made me, along with now I readily see are the dreams of Filipinos, almost nationwide, to go to America. Now, for me, it was an artistic revelation. I listened for the first time ever as a young musician, 18 years old, and a budding trombone player, and I listened to the Stan Kenton band. Stan Kenton was an icon, had an incredible band, incredibly modern band, orchestra. And I actually got to watch. I went to see Stan Kenton, and I think it was the Audion in Kilburn, in the UK. I don't think it's there anymore. And I was just amazed at what I heard, and I thought, that is the band that I would just love to be a member of, and that inspired and fueled my desire to be the best musician that I could be. And then other milestone lightning bolts, of course, came in and changed the impetus that I had in that particular way, but it didn't stop me wanting to go to America. And I went to America, and I took my then 6-year-old son with me. We arrived 1992 on his birthday, the day before his birthday, I think it was, and it was quite an experience. Now, I spent about 20 years there, and that was a great experience. And then I found where I wanted to be, and I came to the Philippines, and this is where I'm happiest now. I'm grateful to the Filipinos, to the Filipino nation. I'm grateful for giving me a home, of welcoming me, and I feel that I am welcome, and I feel that I give as much as I get, and I get as much as I give, and I give as much as I possibly can. So it brings us back, after a little meandering, to what is happening in America right now, and I'm saddened for so many Americans, because they're watching both sides of this two-party government tear each other apart, and they're doing it, I think, probably on both sides. I know I'm ignorant, okay, but I see lies and deceit and being, well, in an Americanism, they're both being economical with the truth. We're not going to allow that witness because he won't be in our favour, which is actually not really in the spirit of a true investigation, is it? A true investigation surely must be one in which you look to find out the truth. Now, I think, and of course time will certainly tell whether I'm right or wrong, I think that both parties will come out less than clean. Not that we didn't know this about politicians. I have known one man who was a politician who I respected a great deal, but he was the only politician I had met, and as we became friends, he was retired, and I had a great respect for him. That was in Fort Myers. Now we're looking at waiting with bated breath to see who wins this. And my own humble opinion is that both parties will be so damaged by all of this dirt that is being thrown at each other in order for each to individually or as a party survive, and we'll end up having less than the respect that we should for either of them. And in the end, it probably will get down to who's going to do the best job of making America great again. That's the war cry of Mr. Trump. And I always remember him as I read a couple of his books that apparently were ghostwritten anyway, but I read a couple of his books, and I just remember the way that he used to get things done as a businessman. And what we're looking at is a nation, the American nation, that needs to get things done. So if you have followed his business life and career, then you might remember the ice rink, the open air ice rink that went for a long time without ever being finished, as if it never could be finished. And Donald Trump came in and said, "I'll finish it," and everybody nodded their head and said, "Well, yes, well, that's what they all said, isn't it?" But he did finish it. And when all of this throwing dirt is all finished, if he can continue as a president, I think he will get things done. Maybe not everybody will be pleased, but then nobody can ever brag that any government that they supported had pleased everybody. And none of us individually please everybody. We all have people who think that we're not so good, and others who are close to us who think we're wonderful. And that's the way of the life, isn't it? So let's pray that America will survive this with some sense of joy and ethics, and the willingness to face a future that is as bright as it possibly can be, and that it has the right person guiding it as president, one that will make America great again. That would be my own personal prayer. But it would be nice to see all of it come back with some integrity. Let's not be too economic with the truth. This is Foreigner in the Philippines. Bye for now.